There's a secret name vibrating beneath the one that you were given at birth. And in ancient Egypt, this was called your Ren, your true name, and it was also believed to be the key of immortality. If your Ren was forgotten, your soul couldn't pass on. But now, what if the name on your birth certificate is out of alignment with the true frequency of your soul? So in this video, we are going to explore just that, calculating your birth path number and the vibrational number of your current name so that we can explore how to choose or rather create a new name that aligns with your soul's true purpose and higher frequency. If you watched my previous video, Egyptian Secrets of Immortality, then you'll remember that I briefly touched on this subject in that video. But this video is the deeper dive that many of you asked for. So let's begin with the root of this whole issue, and that is called dissonance. You see, every name in existence carries a vibrational signature. This is a frequency that's encoded into its letters through numerology. And every time that somebody speaks your name, they are activating that frequency within your energetic field. But your date of birth also holds a frequency, and this determines your life path number, a fixed spiritual blueprint that reflects your soul's journey and destiny. And when your name vibration doesn't align with your life path number, then it creates energetic dissonance. That means that you might feel stuck, misdirected, unseen, even if you are doing everything right in life. In contrast, when your name aligns with your soul path, it's just like putting the right key in the right lock. Your life naturally starts to flow in the direction of your highest potential. So, what do we mean by soul frequency, birth path, soul number, and higher purpose? These are all expressions of the vibration that you came into this world with. Some are calculated through your date of birth, and others come from your spoken name itself. And some are merely waiting for you to remember it. So in this video, we are going to focus on two major systems that help decode your name's energy. The Pythagorean numerology, the Western system that you might have seen before, and also the Chaldean numerology, the much older, much more occult system used in deeper spiritual name work. For simplicity's sake, we are only going to explore those two today. You may also have heard of Kabbalistic numerology or gematria, which links Hebrew letters to mystical values. This is a very deep and powerful system used for magical decoding, for spiritual spell work, esoteric analysis, and also correspondences. That means linking completely different words together through their shared numerological value. But this system of numerology works in a completely different way, and it involves rewriting your name into Hebrew and then interpreting the spiritual resonance of the number itself rather than merely reducing it. So I'm rather going to be covering that separately in a future video, both here and on Patreon, where I'll also walk you through how to begin experimenting with the Hebrew spelling of your spiritual name. But for now, and for simplicity's sake, let's just work with these two systems, the Pythagorean numerology and Chaldean numerology systems. So let's begin with your life path number. This is the vibration of your date of birth. This is the unchangeable energy that your soul chose to incarnate through into this lifetime. Your life path number reflects your spiritual purpose, your karmic lessons, and also the deeper energies that you are here to embody and to master in this lifetime. And it is also very simple to calculate. So let me show you how to do this by using my own birth date. So I was born on the 11th of July, 1996. Your first step is going to be to add the digits of the day. In my case, it is 1 plus 1, and that equals 2. Your second step is to calculate the digit for the month. In my case, it is 7 for July. Your third step is to add the digits of the year. In my case, 1996, which is 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 6 equals 25. Then 2 plus 5 equals 7. Then you need to add everything together. 2 for the day, plus 7 for the month, plus 7 for the year total, which gives 16. Then reduce this to a single number. 1 plus 6 equals 7. So my life path number is the number 7, a number of spiritual depth, inner mastery, and soul solitude. And just to note, this method is based entirely on the Pythagorean system. This is the Western numerology that's most commonly used for birth dates. The only exception here is when you end up with what we call a master number, a number like 11, 22, or 33. These are double digits that carry their own frequency and are not reduced unless absolutely necessary. No master number occurred in the final total for my birth date, so nothing was skipped or mishandled. But if we had ended up with 11, 22, or 33 as the final total, we would not reduce it, unless making a conscious choice to work with both layers. Master numbers are only preserved when they appear in the final total of your life path calculation, not within the separate components like the day or the year. I'll explain more about this in the deeper breakdown on my Patreon. But now that you know how to calculate your life path number and what it actually is, you can begin by asking a very powerful question, and that is, does your current name support the frequency of your soul's chosen path, or does it pull you slightly off your course? Each life path number from 1 to 9 reflects a unique energetic mission. The number 1 is the leader. This reflects independence, initiative, and self mastery. Number 2 is the harmonizer. This reflects diplomacy, intuition, and emotional wisdom. Number 3 is the creator. This reflects communication, joy, and creative self expression. Number 4 is the builder. This reflects stability, structure, and long term growth. Number 5 is the explorer. This reflects freedom, change, and adaptability. Number 6 is the nurturer. This reflects service, responsibility, and heart centered care. Number 7 is the mystic. This reflects inner truth, spiritual depth, and deep perception. Number 8 is the powerhouse. This represents ambition, manifestation, and material mastery. Number 9 is the humanitarian. This reflects compassion, completion, and soul service. Each one of these numbers is a path that your soul chose to walk consciously and intentionally. So the next step is to ask, does your spoken name align with this path, or is it carrying a different vibration altogether? So now that we've calculated your life path number, which is your soul's chosen frequency, let's look at the name that you've been carrying throughout your life and how this name either supports or challenges your life path number. We'll begin with Pythagorean numerology, which is the most widely used system within the West. This method assigns a number to each letter of the alphabet, cycling from 1 to 9 as shown on this chart. So based on this chart, A equals 1, B 2, C 3, I 9, J 1, K 2, and so on and so forth. Every name that you speak or that is spoken about you emits a vibrational frequency, and in this system we calculate what is known as your expression number, This is also called your destiny number, using the full name on your birth certificate, or to keep things simple here, we can only use your first name as well. This is a personal choice, and for this example, we'll use my name, only my first name, which is Shani. So let me show you how to calculate this. The letter S of my name is equal to the number 1. The letter H equals to the number 8. A is equal to 1. N is equal to 5. And I is equal to 9. And when you add them together, 1 plus 8 plus 1 plus 5 plus 9 equals 24. And when you add those digits together of 24, the compound number, you reduce them to a single number. So 2 plus 4 equals 6. So in Pythagorean numerology, my name Shani vibrates to the number 6. Now here is something that is important. In this system, all numbers are reduced to a single digit unless you get a master number like 11, 22 or 33 at the final step. Only then is it preserved. So what does the number 6 actually tell us? It is nurturing, it is artistic, family-centered and deeply responsible. The 6 is here to create beauty, to heal relationships and to hold space for others. But it can also lean into overgiving or perfectionism if not balanced. My life path number is 7, the solitary seeker, the introspective mystic, the spiritual analyst. So how does this name help or hinder me? Actually, it is not too far off. A 6 and a 7 can work together if there's conscious awareness. The 6 pulls outward and the 7 turns inward. But used wisely, this can create harmony between service and solitude, love and wisdom. Now, keep in mind that I didn't include my surname here, and that is my personal choice, and you'll have to make the same choice when you are doing your own calculation. Some people choose to work only with their first name, especially for spiritual naming or for renaming purposes, where others might decide to use their full birth name in order to get a more complete vibration. You can try both. So now it's your turn. Grab a piece of paper, write out your name, assign numbers using the Pythagorean chart, and then reduce them in the same way. Then ask this question: does this name support your life path, or does it pull you off your course? If you'd like to go deeper with this work, I've created a printable numerology chart for you on my Patreon that you can use to calculate your name and then also the names of others. And also on Patreon, I'll explore the following: the differences between your destiny, your soul urge, and your personality numbers. What actually happens when your name includes master numbers like 11, 22, and 33? Whether your middle name or surname changes affect your energy. And then how to analyze the interaction between your name and your life path. Now let's shift into the second system that we are working with today, the Chaldean numerology. This system is much older than the Pythagorean method, and it comes from ancient Babylonian mysticism. Instead of using a simple alphabetical sequence, Chaldean numerology assigns numbers to letters based on their vibrational sound. This is the energetic signature carried by the letter when it is spoken. This is also a more esoteric and spiritually nuanced system, often used by occultists and magicians when selecting new names, spiritual names, stage names, or even magical pseudonyms. Chaldean is also often used in karmic readings because it reveals not just your personality, but also the karmic lessons and the spiritual contracts that your name may be tied to. So here is one of the first things that you'll notice. The number 9 is missing. That is because in the Chaldean thought, the number 9 is considered to be sacred and reserved, and it is not assigned to any letter. Instead, the numbers 1 through 8 are used in the system, and the chart is entirely different. So let's apply it to the same name as before, my name, Shani. According to the Chaldean chart, S equals 3, H equals 5, A equals 1, N equals 5, and I equals 1, which totals 15. Reduced 1 plus 5 equals 6. So once again, the name Shani vibrates to the number 6, but this time through the compound, which is the number 15. And that's where the magic of the Chaldean numerology really starts to show itself. In this system, compound numbers are never ignored. Each compound number has its own symbolic meaning before you reduce it down. The number 15, for example, is known for its charisma, its artistic magnetism, and then also its power of attraction. It is a number of charm, persuasion, and subtle influence. This is very different from the balanced and nurturing energy of the plain single number 6. So while the Pythagorean system gives you the broad headline, the Chaldean offers you a deeper layer of spiritual coding, revealing hidden abilities, karmic undertones, and also potential soul contracts tied to your name. So what happens when you compare the two systems side by side? Even if both reduce to the same number, the flavor and then the force behind them can be completely different. Chaldean numerology helps us to look beneath the surface of your name's vibration and into the deeper spiritual tone that your name carries. So now it's your turn. Grab a piece of paper, calculate your name in both systems, and sit with the results. Do they feel different? Does one feel more true to your essence than the other one? You may even discover that your name carries one vibration outwardly speaking and then another one inwardly. And if you are ready to go even deeper, I've included a full Chaldean name decoding session on my Patreon where I'll guide you through what each compound number actually means, how to read karmic imprints within your full name, why your surname carries a unique ancestral weight in Chaldean numerology, and how to start experimenting with choosing your own soul-aligned name. So now that you've calculated your life path number and also discovered your name's vibration in both the Pythagorean and Chaldean systems, you are literally holding two frequencies in your hands. One represents your soul's direction, and the other one represents the vibration that's being activated every single time that somebody calls your name. So what happens when these numbers don't align? This is what we call dissonance, and dissonance occurs when the energy of your name clashes with the deeper blueprint of your life path. Now, this doesn't always mean that something is wrong, but it often means that something is off. So you might feel like you are working hard in life but simply not getting anywhere. Like people don't really see you for who you truly are. Or like you've been cast into the wrong role in life, energetically speaking. Or perhaps like your life has a hidden friction, as if your identity isn't calibrated to your soul. Now, this isn't just a psychological impression, it's energetic. When your name doesn't support your life path, it's like wearing the wrong shoes for a very long journey. You'll still get there in the end, but with more blisters and detours. On the other hand, harmony happens when your name supports your life path number. Now, this doesn't always mean that they have to match exactly, but it does mean that the vibration of your name empowers the lessons, gifts, and challenges of your path. You might feel a growing sense of clarity or ease, or like your name fits you personally and deeply. an alignment between your inner self and how you are perceived by others, more synchronicities and open doors with less resistance. So let's use my name as an example. My life path number is 7, the number of the seeker, mystic, and the inward path of spiritual truth. In Pythagorean numerology, my name Shani reduces to a number 6, the number of nurturing, harmony, and creative service. In Chaldean numerology, Shani gives us a compound number of 15, which reduces to 6 but carries added layers of charm, magnetism, and influence. So, what does all of this actually mean? It's not a contradiction, but it's also not a full match. A life path 7 asks me to go inward, to study, to reflect, and to seek truth in solitude. But a 6 name vibration encourages external expression, responsibility, emotional support, and ultimately harmony. So that tension between introspection and service has been a defining theme in my entire life. And this is why understanding these layers can be so powerful to so many different people. Let's say that your name vibrates as a 3, playful, expressive, and social, but your life path is an 8, strategic, powerful, and goal driven. You might feel like you are constantly switching masks, the entertainer versus the empire builder. Or imagine being a life path 1, born to lead and initiate, but your name vibrates as a 2. Suddenly, you may find yourself playing the peacemaker, the supporter, when your soul actually came here to take charge, to ignite. Now, here's the good news. This doesn't mean that you are doomed or broken for life. It simply means that you might want to adjust your name vibration to better match or support your true purpose in this life. So there's many ways you can go about this. Some people do this by slightly altering the spelling of their name, adding a middle or a spiritual name, or adopting a soul name entirely, something that they meditate upon or are guided to. Remember that your name is a spell, and it is never too late to rewrite that magic. On Patreon, I go deeper into how to read these interactions, what it means when your name and your life path are in harmony versus conflict, how to feel the difference between supportive, neutral, and conflicting pairings, and how to begin meditating on a soul aligned name that amplifies your destiny. So by now, you've calculated your life path number, and you've also explored how your name vibrates in both the Pythagorean and the Chaldean systems. And maybe you've realized that something feels slightly off, or at least not entirely aligned as it should be. So let's talk about the concept of tuning your name. Here's something that is really important to know. You don't have to legally change your name or anything drastic like that. But just like an instrument that is out of tune, if your spoken name doesn't match your soul's frequency, it might be time to tune it in. Even a small change, like a small spelling shift, can carry a completely different energetic imprint. So let's use my personal example and name again, Shani. So my given name at birth is Shani. This vibrates to a number 6 in both the Pythagorean and the Chaldean systems when we reduce the Chaldean system. But my life path number is 7, the number of the mystic, the seeker, and the one that's walking the inward path. So while there is some harmony there, there's still not full alignment. When I experimented with the spelling of my name, Shani to Shania, the Chaldean vibration shifted to 16, which reduces to 7, which does match my life path. But here's the nuance. That match only happens when I calculate my first name alone. If I include my surname, then the total changes completely and no longer aligns with 7. And that's okay, that's my personal choice. Whether you choose your first name or your full name is where your own discernment comes in. Some people feel deeply connected to their full name, including their surname, which often carries ancestral or karmic weight. But other people might choose to work only with their first name in magical or in spiritual contexts, because that's the name that's most often spoken, most felt, and most activated in this lifetime. There's literally no rigid rule here. What matters is the energetic effect that this has on your life, on your rituals, and your sense of alignment. So you don't need to make any drastic changes here. You don't have to change anything overnight. You can work with a spiritual name in meditation, through journaling, or even in ritual, and just observe how it feels for a period of time. Remember that sometimes your real name reveals itself in a moment of stillness. And when it does, it's going to feel like an invitation, not an invention. It feels like remembering. Your true name isn't always something that you choose, but it is something that chooses you. If this video gave you something to think about, then please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support my channel. Let me know in the comments what your life path number is and whether your name actually aligns with it. Also, please tell me in the comments if you'd like to go deeper into this kind of mysticism, like the hidden correspondences between numbers, between names, symbols, and archetypes, and how numerology connects within magical alphabets, planetary influences, and esoteric naming. There's so many more layers to these things. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.